All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video leading up to the 11th episode for The Walking Dead Season 9. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on a recent interview with Angela Kang, where she talks about the future of the series and Screen Rant's ratings for the best seasons of The Walking Dead. And then, of course, we'll get into some of your guys' Q&A questions afterwards. So I wanted to start off by going over this interview with her so we can have some understanding of some idea of where the future of the Walking Dead television series is going to go. So it says from comicbook.com, The Walking Dead has shown no signs of slowing down with a 10th season on the way, which has showrunner Angela Kang focusing both on the future and the tremendously important present. It says, quote, it's kind of just amazing that we're going into the 10th season, Kang told Insider. It's certainly a milestone that most people never get to cross, and we're so grateful to the fans across the world, or around the world, that have been on that journey with us. And it says, as noted in the article by Kirsten Acuna, The Walking Dead is one of the very few shows currently airing to have a 10th season or more. The list includes Will and Grace, Modern Family, NCIS Los Angeles, The Big Bang Theory, which is soon to be ending, Supernatural, Criminal Minds, Grey's Anatomy, NCIS, and Law and Order SVU. It says such a milestone is fueled by the early years of The Walking Dead, making it one of the most in-demand shows on cable. With Season 9, Kang is aiming to keep the ship headed in the right direction to ensure fans stick around for the sure-to-be expansive future. And we should add to that, I think, that if you look at a good number of these series that have been running for this many years, a lot of them, they follow certain formulas that are, it's pretty easy to create series like that, just follow a mold that's been created prior. I mean, if you talk about The Big Bang Theory and, some of these other here, like Grey's Anatomy, for example, NCIS, both of them, and Law and Order. These are week to week kind of serial cookie cutter, procedural crime drama type series. I mean, these have been basically honed down to a science where a lot of them are just episodic and they don't have long running story arcs. They just have one episode where it starts and finishes, or comedy series like The Big Bang Theory, which I don't mean to beat up on it, or Will and Grace or things like that, but they're very familiar type of series. These type of series have been done before. The Walking Dead, however, though, unlike any of these others, is one that actually created something new, like a new type of series, which really has never been done before. I mean, the closest thing here to it might be like Supernatural, and I think even Supernatural has elements of that episodic kind of, type of story where you have kind of like one episode for one theme, and then you go on and you go on and you go on, with maybe a few where they kind of have story arcs that run over a couple episodes. But something like The Walking Dead with the zombie apocalypse, universe like that, really, in terms of long running, it's never been done before, never. So it's really the first of its kind, and probably much more different of a type of series to do than a lot of these others. Then it goes on to say, I'm approaching it as I've got to make a great 10th season, Kang explained. I can't assume anything. It's a thing that writers certainly talk about a lot. You can fall into a trap of just planning ahead and saving the great material for later. We always have to approach it as we've got to put the good material in now, end quote. So it sounds like she's saying that, they can run into kind of a pattern of pushing back too much stuff, or not including enough of the great comic book source material fast enough, or not making things good enough that season. And she's trying to combat that by saying that, even if maybe they put in too much stuff, or they put in too much content too fast, I mean, maybe that's better than too slow, because if they spread it out too much and they don't cover enough of what they want to do and make it good enough, then the series could run into cancellation type of territory if not enough people are enjoying it because it's too slow or it's too spread out, right? The mentality applies regardless of how long The Walking Dead may last, even if it turns out to be another decade, as AMC executives have indicated to be an expectation. Quote, even if there is 5 more years or 10 more years or whatever, we have to make it cool in this year and now, not only for our sake, but definitely for the sake of the fans. And so that's been the approach, King said. I'm really excited about the work that we're doing and just grateful to have been on this ride. Great. So personally, I like the sound of all of that. I think it sounds really good that they're basically not trying to, slow things down too much, to prolong things out too much, and they do want to bring us awesome seasons every year and try to push the envelope for what they're doing all the time. So that's really great. And we'll see how long it lasts for, but sounds like for Season 10, it should probably be maybe just as good as Season 9, or at least close to it, even though, granted, the first 5 episodes of Season 9 were pretty amazing, with Season 9, Episode 5, for me being an incredible episode. So here is Screen Rant's list for their rankings. So I shouldn't say maybe top, like the best seasons, because they've actually ranked every season, including Season 9, which is kind of tricky to do. Personally, I wouldn't do it that way because Season 9's not over yet, right? So to put Season 9 in your rankings for your list is kind of unfair, considering we haven't seen the finale of that season yet. We haven't seen the last episodes. But I do think it's about as good as, almost any of the other seasons. It's, for me personally, I'd put Season 9, above half, I think. I think it should be above half for the episodes right now. And again, or compared to the other seasons. And once we see it all the way through, maybe that will even, move it up further. Or maybe if the finale falls flat, then it'll bump it back a bit. But I don't think it will. Okay, so here's what they have. So number 9, so the worst season of The Walking Dead, they have Season 6. And they quoted the stuff about the dumpster. They think that the decline of The Walking Dead's popularity began with the dumpster, right? So for me, for this one, you guys know Season 6 is actually my favorite season. So they ranked it as the worst season. So, okay, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I guess we'll wait until the end to give our thoughts. So that's number 9. The worst season of The Walking Dead is Season 6. The second worst season is Season 7. So they have Season 7 marked one higher than Season 6, but they still have it as the second worst. Then they have Season 8 as the third worst, or number 7, on their list. So, Season 8, Season 7 and Season 8, those probably do need to be, based on, public opinion, those probably do need to be close to the bottom of the list of the worst seasons, because of how people responded to them. Then we've got, if you're factoring in other people's opinions outside of your stuff, because I actually like Season 8 quite a bit, as you guys know. Number 6 is Season 9. So they have this year, Season 9, in the 6th spot. And again, like I said, that probably would change, I would think, when it finishes, for either better or worse. Number 5, they have Season 2, which is like, okay, that's understandable to have it maybe middle of the road. It was a really emotionally impactful season with the character dynamics between Shane, Lori, and Rick. And there was Randall there at the end, too, and kind of the way Beside the Dying Fire went down and everything. But it was done on way less of a budget, I think, than a lot of these other years. And it was a lot. It was very small time compared to what they do now. Like, if you look at Season 2, it was exciting and it was thrilling and everything. But there's several episodes in there that, like, not that much. There's not a whole lot done in some of those episodes. So that's their number 5. Number 4 is Season 4. So that's like, okay, I get that. That's got Too Far Gone in it. That's got the governor's kind of comeback afterwards. And then the second half with the Claimers and finishing off with Terminus. So it's a good season. It deserves to be, maybe above half or at least, further up. It's a pretty good season. Number 3, or at least you could see it that way. Number 3 is Season 3. Now, Season 3 used to be my favorite season of the series. You have Merle, you have the Governor, you have the dual storylines happening at the same time at both Woodbury and the prison. You have Clear. You have a lot of awesome moments in Season 3. So I understand they put Season 3 near the top. They have it in 3rd. Second, they have Season 5, which I think is rated Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb, those type of sites, as the best season. Season 5 is the best season of The Walking Dead. They've got it in 2nd, so I get it. I understand that. That's cool. And then they have the best season ever of The Walking Dead as Season 1, which, of course, is only a short season. It's only like it's less than half a season, really, because it's only 6 episodes. And they were able to use a big budget for, I think they had a bigger budget for Season 1 than they did for Season 2. And Season 1 was only 6 episodes, so they were able to do a lot there. Of course, Frank Darabont being heavily involved there to start things off. And, it was a great first season. It was an incredible first season of a series, about as good as you could expect it, and it's part of the reason why The Walking Dead became so popular. Everyone sees season 1 before they see the others. So, yeah, you do have to say season 1 is really good. So it depends on how you want to look at it. My thoughts on their list, it's okay. They seem to have the idea, and when I read through kind of Screen Rant's kind of blog about it, they basically said that they felt like the series started off stronger, and then kind of, at least it gives me in mind the idea that the series was the best at the beginning, from season 1 being number 1, and then it kind of fizzles out, or it kind of goes down as things go on. Like it's awesome at the start, and then it kind of gets worse as time goes on. I have a different viewpoint of that from doing this online with you guys for the 9 years as we've gone through, because I have been actually reviewing the show since before the series started. I reviewed the comics first because I used to review a whole bunch of different comic book series, and The Walking Dead was like a really good comic, so I did some reviews for that and realized how good it was. The TV series hit, and then we started doing reviews for that every episode, even the premiere night of the very first episode. So from what I've seen from the community over the years and from people's responses, my opinion is that The Walking Dead had an amazing start. It had an incredible start, and basically the first couple seasons was really great, very nostalgic to watch back now. Season 3 was mixed. Some people love it because it's very action-oriented. Some people hate it, the same reason why a lot of people hate Season 8. So it depends, and some people hate the governor, or they don't like Andrea that much, and some of the characters that were at the forefront. I did like Season 3. I thought it was actually a step up from the first two, in that it was very exciting, and a lot of back and forth, and more characters, and more communities, more dynamics. I thought it was really exciting to see. Morgan coming back and everything was really cool. So I like Season 3 the best out of the first 3. So for me, and then Season 4, I remember kind of came down a little bit. There was a little bit of interest where it was like, people were kind of complaining more in Season 4 than Season 3. But Too Far Gone was incredible, so you can't knock that. Then Season 5 and Season 6. For me, Season 5 and Season 6. Season 5 got it going around the time between the beginning of Season 5 to the start of Season 7 is probably the hottest period The Walking Dead will ever have. From No Sanctuary to the Season 7 premiere is the hottest The Walking Dead will ever be, I think, personally, from what I've seen. With Season 5 being incredible, the popularity building. Season 6 also very popular, and the introduction of Negan, everybody getting ready to see Negan come in, and No Way Out, and all of that. So Season 6 for me is my all-time favorite season because it's right in between that hot spot. Season 5 was awesome. It brought the shit. Definitely Season 5 was better than 4. I think there's no question about it. So Season 5 got it to a higher level where everybody was starting to enjoy it more. Season 6 kind of rode that with the best zombie stuff of the whole series. Like, if you want to talk just straight zombie stuff, Season 6 has the best zombie herds, zombie everything that the series has to offer, in my opinion. It has the most zombies. It has the ultra mega herd. It has JSS with the wolves and everything. It has a lot of action. It has Morgan who came back. It has all these other things going on. Alexandria starting, which is great. And then, of course, the trickle in of the Saviors with Dwight and Negan. And by the end of the season, Negan arrives. So for me personally, Season 6 is it encapsulates the most hype of the whole series. And No Way Out in the beginning part, the first half, with the amount of walkers, is the best zombie stuff of a zombie apocalypse series. So the reason why I have it as my favorite season ever is because it has the best zombie stuff of the whole show. And even though there's a fake out death for Glenn and that kind of stuff, I saw people get mad about that, but I didn't see them tune out. I didn't see them leave. It wasn't until after the Season 7 premiere that people abandoned ship. And because I think it's that the Glenn death really hurt them more than they want to admit. So when the Glenn death happened, after that, people, and Abraham too, people really did take their ball and go home. A lot of people really did decide, okay, I'm out, bro, I'm done, right? And a lot of them never came back. And then as time went on, and you had that heart of the series missing, you had Rick and you had the others, and they have some, but Stephen Yeun is underrated, very, very underrated, I think, for what he did for the series, and it's never really, in my opinion, recovered. Jesus was the closest character, I think, that could kind of add a little bit of that back in there. But he wasn't Glenn because he wasn't in the series since the beginning. And even though he was fun and they had some kind of fun stuff with him and Daryl and Rick and them kind of fighting over that truck that went in the water and everything in season, was that Season 6 too? Around that time frame, right? It still wasn't quite the same. It just wasn't quite the same. So, and then it kind of fizzled out from there. So having 6, 7, and 8, maybe, okay, I can see you make a case for 7 and 8 being some of the worst seasons because that was when people started to tune out. But 5 and 6 have got to be close to the top. The first season, yeah, it's got to be up there. Second season, yeah, somewhere. Third, yeah, somewhere. Fourth, yeah, around there too. Too Far Gone was awesome. But that's kind of my understanding of the community's kind of feel for The Walking Dead. And if you look at the ratings of the series and how many people were watching it on premiere night and talking about it, that will give you a good indication of where it was at. Started off good. It got hotter as each year went up. Season 5 and 6 was the pinnacle. Season 7 was the most hyped ever. And somehow people were let down by that, or they were just so emotionally scarred from Negan's battery that they left. And as Negan was there more and more, they kept leaving. And they were like, so they're not just going to beat Negan and move on? It's like, it's not going to be that simple. People are like, oh, okay, I don't want to watch it then. So let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below. How do you feel about, the best and worst seasons of The Walking Dead? How would you rank the seasons? And again, it's up to everybody, to decide. I mean, if you want to look at it objectively, you probably say season 8 is the worst year. But I like season 8. You probably have to put season 8 last if you want to look at it, or season 7 and 8 like at the bottom. But it's like, I feel sorry to say that because there was so much cool stuff in season 8 and so much action stuff. I hate to put it in last. But it is what it is, and we all have our own lists and our own favorites. We'll just do a couple questions for today because I don't want to go on too long with you guys. Luke P says, "Hey Trev, just been thinking. As much as I love the show, it scares me to think that the show is soon to be over. I think it may seem the same way, or a lot of people may see it the same way. So the series being over soon, not according to Angela Kang. I don't think that it'll be over soon. AMC Premiere probably is doing just fine." And I think the series will be good to go for at least a couple more years. It could probably survive long term, but it depends what it costs for them to produce it. That's going to be the big thing here. But I think it will continue, and I don't think AMC is going to let it go without a fight, man. It's their biggest thing they've ever had. You can't imagine them letting it go without throwing the kitchen sink and everything else they got at it. They cannot lose The Walking Dead. They can't do it. As a business, they cannot lose it. Breaking Bad, some of these other series, it's like, yeah, they're popular. Walking Dead is like multiples popular than anything they've ever had. They cannot let it go. It would just be suicide for the whole company, basically. Shooter the Gamer says The Walking Dead is not dead. So there we go. That's his comment. And I agree with him. It's not. Again, it might not be as popular as it was during that peak period, but it's still on. It's still going strong, and it is true that with more online entertainment and video games and the whole bit, streaming and Netflix and the internet and everything, that year by year it's starting to become more and more apparent that TV ratings are going to have a tough time. But that's why it's good that they have Premiere and stuff like this, so they can try to make up for that. They kind of have to. It's like they don't really have a choice if you think about it. As much as some of us hate Premiere because we can't get it and everyone else gets to watch it early, it's like, yeah, I know that kind of sucks, or you don't want to pay for it, and I get that too. It is expensive and cable and everything, so people don't even have cable. So, but yeah, man, it's just like they got to do what they got to do to keep it going. So I understand. Last one will be from Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews, who says, Q&A Trev, what episode do you think we will see the fight with Daryl and Beta? Do you think it'll be episode 11 or somewhere around 12 or 13? Love your videos, and thanks, man. So for Dan, I would think that for the Daryl versus Beta fight, yeah, I think you got it right. I think about 12 or 13. Now, which episode will it be? I'm not privy to spoilers for this half. Let's say... this is 11 coming up, and we have not seen Beta yet, and they're at the hilltop right now. Okay, 13. Yeah, I think you got it right. 13 or maybe even 14, but an appearance at least by 13 is what I'm hoping to see. I think that's a good prediction. Anyway, that'll be it for today's video, guys. Leave your comments below. I'm excited to see what you think. Ranking the seasons of The Walking Dead. Where are you at? Which ones do you think? What do you think was the strongest part of the series? I'm just speaking based on the ratings and based on the fan interest I've seen online. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can also share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And you can do it bottom left to subscribe. That's it for this video, guys. We'll see you again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.